Hey, this is Russ. Yeah, I'm back out on the road again. What am I riding now? Yeah, let me angle down and show you. Does that look like anything to any of you guys? Yep, it's a new bike. What is this thing? This is the Rad Power Bikes Radster Road Large. Yeah, I've been waiting for this one. I pre-ordered this bike, as you know. It's not a sponsored thing. I actually bought this bike with the credits that were given to me from all of the purchases you guys made of Rad Power Bikes. Yeah, here's how that worked, so that you know. I should probably get up and... Okay, there's cars coming. Yeah, I can never trigger the sensors here, so I might be standing here forever unless a car comes. Yeah, so here's the thing. I had an affiliate link on my description of all my videos with Rad Power Bikes affiliate link there. If you buy a Rad bike and you use that link, you get $50 off, and they send me a $50 credit. Well, so many people have used that link over the last 3 years that I was able to get this bike, and also I gave some of those credits to my sister to use. She got she got 2 or 3 bikes out of it there too. So and I still have money left over. So yeah, thank you so much for that. I do appreciate it. And if you're looking for a Rad Power Bike, okay, please use my link. I do appreciate it. Now, because of the fact that it was given to me as credits, it's technically not a sponsored video. That's why it doesn't say paid promotion on the video. And so I thought about that, and I said, you know what? I don't actually technically have to do an actual review for this bike the way I typically do it. Yeah, it's basically my bike. I paid for it with the credits that were given to me from your purchases. So here's what I thought I'd do this time. Okay, I decided if I did it the standard way, I would have to ride this bike for a while, get my impressions of the bike, and then do the video. But I said, you know, that takes longer. What if I gave you my first impressions of the bike? Because this is the very first time I've taken this bike out. What if I gave you my first impressions of the bike while we're doing the review at the same time? How's that? Then I can get this review out faster. And you, hold on. That beeping is from a truck that's offloading some heavy machinery, and they're backing it up. So you hear that backup beeping. That was loud. Gee whiz. Man, even from this distance, I still hear it. So I figured this way, we can get this review out faster, so people thinking about this bike could actually make some decisions based on what they see here, and also based on my initial impressions of the bike, rather than having to deal with it and wait a week or 2 before the review comes out. How's that? Yeah, doing it a little different this time, but still, you're gonna get my impressions of the bike. So far, I've just driven. I've just ridden it a little bit of time here, and yeah, let's take it up here for a little bit. Then I'll show you what the bike looks like. So you won't even get to see the bike until a little later. Now I could, of course, edit it in a different sequence order. No, I think you should see it chronologically, the way I've done the actual test and review, right? So here's the thing with this bike. We'll talk about it first, and then we'll look at the bike. This bike is kind of different. First off, let me tell you real quickly, the bike came in packaged very well. Rad does a good job in packaging all the time. Yeah, we've had, this is the 3rd Rad bike I've had. I had the Rad Rover 5 was my first bike that I purchased. That's how I got the affiliate link. And then I bought a Rad Mini, again using credits plus some additional money for Mrs. Wright. You know, both of those have since been sold and moved on. And then, hi. And then I, this would make this the third bike. Each bike that came in was always packaged very well. They didn't use foam. You know how most of the bikes come in, they have foam packaging. They don't use foam now. What they do is they have corrugated boxes that are designed to take up the space, corrugated cardboard to take up the space, and that stuff is like really heavy duty, man. I don't think there's any way anyone could really damage that thing, even if you crushed it. So I'm impressed with the packaging, okay? The documentation is really good, really good. It's in this manual, essentially. So I was impressed with that, okay? Some of the safety features are really good. And it's UL approved for the battery, and I think also the wiring and stuff that's inside the bike. So that's kind of nice. Thank you. Yeah, that was a good dog. So yeah, it's kind of nice. Now here's the one thing that I thought was interesting. I'm gonna angle down a little bit. Can you guys see this thing down here? 16 plus. You got to be 16 years or older to ride this bike. Okay, tells you to wear a helmet, and it also says, what does it say here? Something ride check. So they have some type of link there for you to take a look at what you should do, I guess, to get ready to ride. I don't know. But here's the thing. You can't take that off. That is actually part of the paint. It's painted on. And this is what it tells me, that Rad is concerned that the proper people ride their bikes. Now, why is that? Well, Rad had some lawsuits set to them in the past years where people were trying to sue, as you might know, about some of this stuff. And because of that, I think they're really fearful of people using the bike that shouldn't be using the bike. So they've put all this stuff on their bikes now. Even the packaging said that on the box. Well, it had warnings on the box, okay? So in a sense, it's good, but again, sometimes you kind of look at that and go, really, do I need to see that all the time? You know, because it's kind of painted on the paint. You can't take it off, okay? It's part of the paint job. So they don't want anyone messing with that, okay? Here's another thing. They changed a lot of stuff on this bike compared to their previous bikes. Now they claim it's 750 watt motor. I don't know if it peaks any higher than that or not, but they also claim now 28 miles per hour. Yeah, 28 miles per hour if you put it in class 3 mode, 25 miles an hour if you put it in a, I don't know what they call that. I'll go ahead and look at it on the menu, some type of mode. They call it a class 3 something mode. So it only goes to 25. 20 miles an hour if you do a class 2, and then you could also put it in class 1, which is no throttle, but 20 miles per hour. So class 2 would be throttle at 20, pedal at 20. Class 3 would be throttle to 20 and pedal to 28 or 25, okay? Now I've noticed a lot of bikes have been doing this lately. They don't want you to have 28 miles per hour on the throttle. I kind of feel sorry about that, but I understand why they do it, all right? I mean, technically, we're reading now, people are saying class 3 bikes should really be pedal to 28 and no throttle at all. I don't agree with that either. I think, what difference does it make if you throttle or you pedal to 28? 28 is 28. You think, oh, he used the throttle, so he hit somebody, so that's worse than if he pedaled and hit somebody at 28. It's the same thing. They should just change that to 28 and 28, pedaled or throttled. But that's how the law reads, so that's where it is. So they're trying to stay within a certain amount of the law, okay? And of course, with all the lawsuits they've had, I guess I can't blame them. All right, I'm kind of pulling up to where I usually go when I do these reviews. So let's go ahead and pull off here. I'm going to show you the bike. Now this is a mid-step version. They have a regular and a large. I have the large. Now, I think the best name for this mid-step comes from our friend John, who is the guy who encouraged me to do reviews. Remember him? Yep. John calls it the trip through, or it's not a step through, it's a trip through. Yeah, let's leave this stuff here. Let's kind of turn this a little bit. This is what I usually do on these reviews. Yeah, let's take a look at this bike. There you go. Now, I can't see everything that the GoPro's seeing. I don't have it set up for it. I'm just going to assume it's looking pretty good. Yeah, he calls it a trip through because this section here, yeah, you could trip on that. It's not quite a step through, but it's also not quite a step over either. So he calls it a trip over. Is that what he calls it? Yeah, trip over bike. Trip over. Yeah, he tripped right over that thing. All right, I put a bag on here, okay, just so that you know. And then I put a, let's see, what else did I put on here? I put a side view mirror, as I usually do. I put a cell phone mount on it as well. The rest of it is pretty much stock. I did also do this. I put a thumb throttle. Now, the throttle on this one is a little thinner than any of the thumb throttles that I've had printed up in the past. This is 3D printed. This one was actually given to me by somebody who purchased one of my my bikes, and it's actually only part of it because all the other ones wouldn't fit, but this one did. It's a smaller diameter, but his thing that came out stuck out too far here, so I just used the bottom half of it and then I zip tied it, and it seems to work because we can't go all the way to the edge here like I usually do because you got trigger shifters here now, okay? Shimano trigger shifters, so we can't do that. So a little weird, but it works. Maybe he'll share the file with us. I don't know. All right, let's go over some of the features of the bike. And I know it's in wide angle mode right now, but hey, it is what it is, right? So they put a Shimano Acera derailleur here. Sorry, I'm kind of bending over and getting my shadow in the way. So it is designed as a 8-speed bike. It's got a 750 watt motor in the back. Okay, it says Rad on there. They've got Kenda tires. Now these are a little different. These are 29 inches, yeah, 29 inches by 2.2 inch tires. And these are like street type tires, right? So very quiet. There's no big knobby things. Don't expect to go over grass and all that kind of stuff with this. It's really designed for street, really. It's a commuter bike, right? You got a front suspension fork, got a headlight. Headlight automatically turns on when it's too dark, all right? And of course you can turn that off yourself if you want. You can turn it on and off yourself. Here's another thing though. Back here, you got tail light, but you got blinking lights for left turn and right turn. Let me see if I can turn that on. So over here on the pedal assist controller, there's a left blinking. And when you have that, you'll see over here on the display screen, I don't know if you can see it here, but you'll see it's blinking to the left, or over here, if you hit right, it's blinking to the right. And if we go to the back, I don't know if you can see, can you guys see that right here? The right turn signal is blinking, and of course if it was left, the left turn signal will be blinking. And to cancel that out, all you gotta do is hit it again. So hit the right again, and you'll see here, it's not blinking anymore, okay? Now this battery is kind of interesting. This is, I think, the same type of battery they had. Oh, this thing's turning at me. Let me go on this side here. This battery is integrated into the down tube, but it sticks up, right? It's kind of like how their other batteries were before. And there's an on-off button here. Now here's an interesting thing. When you get your bike initially, I tried to turn on the thing over here. There's a power switch on the top. Wouldn't turn on. That's because if you push this thing here and hold it, it will turn on and turn off the battery. Okay? So now if you wanted to lock this bike up, let's go ahead and do that. I'll just go ahead and turn it off. So now the display screen is off. Okay? If I came down here push this thing and hold it for like 3 seconds. Okay. This thing will light up, then it's off. Now if I try to go ahead and turn it back on by pushing this button up over here, you'll notice it's not turning on. Okay. If I come back down over here again, push and hold that battery button, you'll see the little lights will light up. See, I don't know if I'm holding it good enough. For at least 3 seconds. Push it now, and you'll see it's actually on. So, unless a person knows to push this button first before pushing that button up there, they can't start the bike. Now, they have some other safety things too. You can, of course, passcode protect it, but they also give you these little, let's move over here. They give you these little tag things. These things you can program to the display screen so that if you tap it, it unlocks your bike. So yeah, you should keep this with you. I didn't set it up that way because I don't plan to use it. But in the menu, it'll code it. It's kind of like tapping your credit card on a credit card display thing for payment. Well, you tap the display screen and it turns on the bike, or turns off. Yeah, gives you the ability to turn the bike on. And then without it, you can't turn on the bike. Okay. Tektro hydraulic brakes, that's nice. Always love the Tektro brakes. Cable management kind of hangs out, right? So if you take a look here, it does hang out, but they do wrap it in this like cord type wrap. Yep. So this is 180 millimeter rotors for the Tektro hydraulic brakes. All right, what else do we have here? Yeah, the bag doesn't come with it. I just put a bag on here. However, the rear rack does come with it. It does not come with a front basket. That is optional. The fenders are metal. Okay, they're very close to the tires. I mean, I'm talking really close to the tires. I mean, if you have a half an inch, that's about all you get. It's not even, I don't even know what it is, but it's really close. It uses a through axle, which did not surprise me either, because people were trying to sue for the fact that they had quick releases that were having problems. So now they go to a through axle design. That cover most of it, except for the menu. I may show you guys the menu inside because it's too bright out here. Although you can't see it, it looks better on camera if I just put it that way, going through the inside. All right, let me show you the display screen. I'm going to turn the bike on here. Just push the on button, and that'll kick that in there. So this is the screen itself. It automatically turns on your front headlight if it's too dark. Just doing this in the hallway here. And what I wanted to show you is some of the things on the display screen. This is how many watts you're actually using while you're pedaling or throttling. This is an indication saying that the front headlight is on. And then it gives you an estimation of how many miles it believes you still have left on your battery. Okay, so as you see here, I'm on pedal assist level 1. You can see that down over here. So if I move the level higher to 2, you'll see that this changes to 30 miles, 20 miles, 15 miles, and 11 miles left if I use pedal assist level 5. So depending on what you have for your pedal assist, it estimates what it thinks you have left on the battery, okay? And then of course up here it tells you how many miles your odometer has. Your speedometer is right here, of course pedal level assist here, and then a battery meter that goes across, okay? Now to get into the menu, if you just simply push the menu button right over here, it'll tell you some basic information. It says trip time. So it says that I was riding 56 minutes. The distance I rode for that trip was 9.6 miles, and it's currently set for level 3 for your class level. Okay, so if you have it set for class 2, class 1, it would indicate that right there. Okay, now if you hold the menu button down for more than 3 seconds or 2-3 seconds, it'll actually tell you some more information. Now I know it's kind of hard to see sometimes, but this is asking me here on the trip meter, do I want to clear the trip meter, yes or no? You use your up and down buttons here to decide. Oops, let me go back again. If you want to clear it, you hit the menu button and then hit the button again. It says clear trip data, and I'll say yes, hit the button again. Trip data has been cleared, all right? And then you can go back to, you gotta hit the menu button a couple times to get to the right thing. Return to menu, so it goes back here. So that's trip, and now going back down one more, you got the various classes you can set it for, class 1, 2, or 3, and 3 has 2 levels, 25 miles per hour class or 28 miles per hour class, all right? And again, this is for your pedaling. If you throttle, you will still only get 20 miles per hour. Then you have units, so kilometers per hour or miles per hour. We're here in the US, so we'll set that. And again, it's set or return. The range. Now you can show the remaining range left. We have that on, so it'll tell you roughly what you think, what the battery thinks you have left if you use certain pedal assist levels. Brightness levels, we'll set the brightness levels. So you can see it's darker. So you got 1 through 5 brightness levels. I have it set for 5. That's the default it came in. All right, and then return to menu. Let's see here, return to menu. I still have a hard time remembering which buttons to actually hit to get us back to where we are. Okay, there you go. Then you can set the security on here too. I don't have a security set up for this thing, but you could set up your bike security at this point. You have things like passcodes. You can use 4-digit number, or you can use what they call the NFC. So you can see there's different. That's the orange things that they give you here. Remember we mentioned about that. That allows you to program that in so that when you hold that up against the display screen, it will unlock the bike for you. Again, I did not set that up. And then general information, what your software is and all that type of thing. So yeah, it's actually very easy to program this thing because it's not like P settings or anything like that. It actually tells you what it is that it's doing. And to get back out of it, just hold the menu button again, and it will get you back to the beginning. All right, first thing that I noticed is that as you know, I usually start the bikes out with a throttle to get myself moving, and then I'll start pedaling. This throttle is very responsive. I mean, the first time I took it and I pushed it down, I usually tend to push it down kind of hard. Yeah, it was lifting off the front tire. Yeah, the whole back end is like pushing us forward, and the front tire was going up. So I wouldn't say you could do a wheelie or anything, but yeah, you got to be careful. All right, yeah, I'm still sniffling. It's still a little chilly today. All right, we're gonna ride towards the hill test. Now, how's the feel of the bike? Well, you got pedal assists, right? So you got 5-level pedal assist. I do feel it. This is a torque sensor bike, which means the harder you push on that pedal, the more your bike is going to react. All right, so it's not a cadence sensor, it is a torque sensor. All right, let's get through here first. Let's lower my pedal assist level here because I have a bunch of people coming through. Yeah, very responsive. I'm kind of impressed. Now, what is the torque of the motor? They claim 100 Newton meters. Is that right? 100? 110? I don't know. I'll put a graphic up. It's at least 100, I know that. Yeah, kind of bumpy there. Yeah, it's at least 100. It might be even 110. I don't know. I got to take a look at that thing. I will tell you this. Pedaling this is pretty easy. Now, I know a lot of you guys were wondering, how is this going to do against the Stellar Falcon? Yeah, the U-Free bike. Well, the nice thing with the U-Free bike is the U-Free bike can either be a torque sensor or a cadence sensor. In the menu of the screen, you pick which way you want to ride it. Can't do that with this bike. This is torque only, all right? So cadence sensor fans, yeah, you're not going to get it. Torque sensor fans, yeah, you get it. But with the Stellar Falcon, you can go either way. So that's kind of nice. Display screen is kind of nice. I like the display screen. It's kind of very basic looking, but it works. It tells you how many miles you've ridden. Apparently I've done about 4 miles or so. It tells you how many watts you've used up as you're riding the bike. And then it estimates how many miles you have left based on your pedal assist level. So right now I have pedal assist level 3. It says I got 30 miles. If I change the pedal assist to 2, I got 44. If I change it to 1, it says I got 52 miles. Now, is that accurate? Don't know. I think it's an estimation. Okay, pedal assist 4, 22 miles. Pedal assist 5, 16 miles. So it really depends on your pedal assist level, and that makes sense because let's hit the button. All right, so we have someone there stopping for us, so we wave, thank you. Yeah, it makes sense because, you know, the more pedal assist level you have, the more battery you're going to use. So it estimates a lower amount of mileage that you can ride. But as we know, that's just an estimation. You go up and down hills, that's going to change. If you weigh more, that's going to change. You weigh less, it's going to change. You pedal more, it's going to change. You throttle, it's going to change. There's so much variances that you really can't tell what that is. But it's just kind of telling you that, hey, you know, if you move up on that pedal assist level, it's going to affect your mileage. That's all they're basically telling you. Now the pedal assist controller on the left-hand side. All right, we'll get through here. Thank you. Pedal assist is on the left-hand side. I moved it further inwards because I needed to put the side view mirror here. It does come with a bell. This is the bell. It's a very high-pitched bell. Kind of left it there. I didn't change the bell thing over. It does seem to have enough space to put a cell phone mount without having to get an additional handlebar extender to put all their stuff on there, unless you want to, you know. I think you sit fairly upright on this bike. I don't feel like I'm leaning over much at all. Now, even though the torque is good here, at 100 or more Newton meters, the throttle will still limit it to 20 miles per hour. So we will not be able to go faster than 20 miles an hour as we approach the hill. But as we know, when we go through the hill test, it's going to start dropping on us once we start going up the incline. So what we do is we look at the speed. Now, the speed on the speedometer is in whole numbers. It doesn't have a decimal point after it. But I think what I'll do on this one, I'm going to turn on a GPS thing on my cell phone, which of course will have at least one place of decimal amounts. I don't usually do that, but let's do it on this one, because otherwise it's just going to give us a whole number of what that is. So what we do is we go up to the end of the bridge, we stop, and then we throttle only, and it doesn't matter what the pedal assist level is. We'll put it on 5 just so that we say we did it. All right. And then we'll go through it. Now I see somebody is on the path, so we may have to wait a while for that person to get through before I take this test. Otherwise we're going to run into him as we do it. I don't know how long it's going to take him to walk up that hill. We may be here for a while, so that's okay. Let's go ahead and go to the cell phone. Let me get over to the app, one of the apps that has speedometer. Okay. No, I think this one's whole numbers too. Is there another one that doesn't? Let's try another speedometer. Yeah, I know you can't see. No, that's whole numbers as well, I think. How about this one? All right, this one has it. All right, I don't know if we can pass him through or not, but I don't want to wait. So let's go ahead and give it a try. All right, so let me angle down so you can see the app. 14.1, 16.3. We'll hit him with the bell. (17.3, 17.0, 16.4, 15.4, 12.8, 12.6, 11.5, 10.6, 10.0, 9.5, 9.5. All right. 9.5. Now, okay, so now let's straighten you back out here again. They claim a high torque, right? 9.5. A little disappointing, I would say. I've had other bikes that did better, and their torque level. Their torque level was supposedly lower, like in the 70 ranges, and it did better. So what's up with their torque number? I don't understand. But it didn't struggle to go up the hill. It did go. But now you might say, well, that's because the throttle is limited to 20 miles per hour. No, I had other bikes too that were limited to 20 miles an hour, and they still went over that hill with a higher speed. So now, how accurate is their speedometer here? Not 100% accurate. It says 14, but I was seeing that on the GPS it was below 14, then eventually reaches 14. So here it says like 11.7, this thing's reading 13. So I think eventually gets there. I think the GPS reading, let me angle down a little bit here. This GPS reading is more accurate than this, right? So I'm gonna go with this, saying that you know, some of this is showing like 11, 12, and this thing's still hanging at around 13. So yeah, it's not that accurate. I mean, it's a close estimate, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Does it really matter? I guess if you were being clocked by law enforcement, then it might matter. But other than that, I don't think it really matters that much. But there you go. So yeah, I think the hill test could have been better for something that claims a higher torque, because it doesn't feel like that. Now, responsiveness is very good. Like I said, I hit that throttle. I hit it hard enough that thing starts trying to lift up the front tire. But the hill, no, didn't do that well on the hill. All right, since we're going this way, we're going to go through the forest preserve like we usually do. I tried my best to avoid the forest preserve because of bugs and stuff, but well, we're here. Let's go do it, right? Let's go do it. Why not? All right, let's try the brakes here. Brakes work well. Okay. No problems with the brakes. I'm glad that they went to hydraulic brakes like everybody else too, right? That seems to be the norm now. Yeah, hydraulic brakes. All right, we're gonna pick it up again once we cross over here. Let me see, which way should I go? Everything's red. Both sides are red. I think I'll cross this way first. We'll go this way first. Okay, I'm back. As you know, in the forest preserve here, we have a 15-mile-an-hour limit speed, so we will not be exceeding that. We'll stay within the speed limit. I mean, occasionally we might bounce a little higher, but we'll try our best to stay within 15 miles per hour. So what's my initial impressions? Well, I think as a pedaling bike, this bike does really good. It feels really good on the torque sensor. I like it. Yeah. I'm a little disappointed that it only does 20 miles per hour on the throttle, but again, I understand a lot of other companies are doing that too. But at least you can pedal up to 28 if you want to, right? And we'll pedal a little faster on this thing. I think what I'll do is I'll go on the area where the cars go in this forest preserve, and I'll pedal a little faster for you. Goes up a hill too. And then I'm a little disappointed in the torque number being 100 or more and not being able to go over the hill any faster than it did. That to me was a little disappointing. I was kind of expecting this thing should beat those others. It didn't. It did worse. So that's too bad. The school buses are backing up. All right, let's pedal a little bit here. So this again, being a torque sensor, the harder you press on that pedal, faster that thing should react. Again, I have a weakened leg and knee. I had a knee replacement done on the left knee, so I can't pedal as hard as some of the other people can. All right, we're going down a hill at this point. kind of coasting at this point. All right, so I'm pedaling. Doing 22 miles an hour on the pedal. 24. I'm pretty sure you can do 28 on this thing. Gonna go up a hill. I don't have the leg strength or the stamina to do it. I'm just gonna throttle it up. Well, let's pedal it up. Just won't pedal as hard. Yeah, I can feel it's helping to go up the hill. But again, you have to put the effort. It's not a cadence sensor, so if you're tired and you can't pedal anymore, like me, I'm kind of tired out right now, it's gonna go down. The cadence sensor with a decent torque would still pull you up that hill. So, I mean, that's the one thing with torque sensors, right? You gotta put the effort in, or otherwise you're gonna suffer the consequences. No, the throttle reacts really fast. You hit it, it starts moving. There's no delay on it at all, which is nice. Turn signals are nice, but you know, it's so close on your brake light that you know, people could mistake it. They even tell you on the warnings in their manual that the turn signal is not a replacement for your hand signals. It's an extra, okay? Still, you should use your hand signals. People see that more than they see that turn signal. It's just that if you're at a stoplight and you want the guy behind you to know that you're turning, yeah, use the light. Then of course that's fine. But an actual turn, like if you're turning left or right, you should be using hand signals. See, now there, I pushed down on the throttle to get moving, kind of lifted up the front tire. So yeah, you better put some weight on the handlebars when you're hitting the throttle like that, just to get moving quickly. Otherwise, you'll find that the front tire is going to lift on you. So yeah, it's got torque. It just doesn't have the torque over the hills. I'm disappointed. I was really hoping that this thing would do it. Now, would that stop me from buying this bike? No, it wouldn't stop me at all. Yeah, we had some trees that went down over here. I see that they cut down those trees that were blocking this area. No, that wouldn't stop me at all. I just have to know. You just have to know that, you know, you're not going to get the hill climb performance out of this bike that you might have expected because of that number. So, but it does go over the hill. All right. So I mentioned that Mrs. Wright was interested in this bike. Would I stop her from keeping it? No. No. I mean, if she kept that Pedigo bike, she'd have the same problems going over the hill with that bike. That bike is it's a class 2 bike. It's 20 miles pedaled or throttled, but you don't have any option to even to go to 28. And it has manual disc brakes. It doesn't have hydraulic brakes on it. So. But the Pedigo is a more expensive bike. If you look on the website, I think with the mag wheels on it and the battery, she even has a secondary battery for that bike. Even without the secondary battery, I think that bike was I think that bike was like $26.95, something like that, plus the secondary battery. So. Hey, if she decides to sell that bike off, I'll let you guys know and we'll figure out a price for it. It's a good bike though. I like it because it's nice and lightweight in comparison to these other bikes. If you're one that doesn't think you're gonna go faster than 20 miles per hour, that bike would be perfectly fine. If you want to go a little faster, this bike might be a better choice, but again, only if you pedal will it go to 28, and only if you put it to class 3 mode. Okay, your throttle will still only do 20. So, what's my overall impression of the bike, having ridden it now for about 8 miles? I like the bike. Yeah, I do. I think it looks really nice. It's constructed very well. which is fully expected from Rad power bikes. I always was impressed with how they do stuff, but I kind of felt that they didn't innovate for several years. You know, with the Rad Rover series, the Rad Rover 6 was sitting there for years before they finally did something and said let's upgrade that. They have a trail version of this bike too. Go take a look at their website. You can take a look. That's thicker tires and the like. So if you're gonna go off-road, that would be probably a better choice than this particular bike. But you know, they have their similarities, right? I like the fact that they upgraded their commuter bike to this, because I think it offers a little bit more for the money. So as a recommendation, yeah, I would recommend it. Yeah. With the caveats that, you know, certain things, not as much as I thought it would be, but it works. Let me say this about these commuter style bikes. Maneuverability is a lot easier on these than the fat tires, okay? I feel like, you know, if I want to do a U-turn, as you know, I don't usually do U-turns. I can do U-turn on this bike, no problem. And the fat tire bikes, I don't feel like I can do it so well, because it doesn't maneuver as well as these commuter style bikes with the thinner tires. Thank you. So you might notice that on the Russ is Right channel, I'm beginning to get a lot more commuter type bikes, or at least hybrid bikes with the Stiller Falcon. Yeah, I'm beginning to like it more. Yeah, I'm beginning to like it more. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't like my fat tire bikes, because I do. But I see a benefit of this. I mean, if you're like me and you're mostly on the streets or you're on the bike paths, these type of bikes would be perfectly fine. You don't need a really big fat tire bike. But I like the big fat tire bikes because if I have to go up on the grass, like if somebody's in my way and I have to go up on the grass and do that, I don't hesitate. I can do it. On these thinner tire bikes, I always have a little more nervousness about that. So every bike has good and bad, right? So who's the person for this kind of bike? Well, anyone that looks to ride on the streets or a bike path. Thank you. Anyone who wants to ride on the street or a bike path, this would be the type of bike that's probably best suited for you. Okay, it's lighter in weight in general than the fat tire bikes. Fat tire bikes are heavy because those tires are heavy. You know, the wheels are heavy. And so this is easier to maneuver. It's easier to lift up and down if you had to put it on a bike rack, or if you have to lift it up over a couple of steps. Somebody asked me once, she says, can you carry a bike up 2 flights of stairs? I said, no. I can't do it. I don't know if you can do it, but you know, some of these bikes are kind of heavy, right? I'll put some specs up for you guys to see about the bike. I know we haven't talked too much about the specifications, but you know, you guys can see that on a website. It's not like you can't. And really, you should look at their website before you order one if you're interested in it anyway. It's all there. But I'll try to remember and put something up here for you guys to see some of the specifications. But yeah, I like the bike. I think I do. I wouldn't mind hanging on to this bike. So do we sell it or do we keep it? I'm going to leave it up to Mrs. Wright. I think she has to ride it a little bit first, and then she will make the determination whether we keep or we sell. So my original goal was that we would do the review and then immediately sell off the bike. Well, she won't be able to try this bike out until probably a little bit later in the week. So I'll leave it to her. It'll be Mrs. Wright's decision, because if we keep it, this will be her bike. If we sell it, basically means that she still wants to keep her Pedigo. Either way, one of those two bikes are going to be sold. So yeah, we can't keep everything. Something's got to go, like I said. Pushing the button there. Something's got to go if something comes in. Hey, if you like this review in different format, okay, put a thumbs up, put a like there, subscribe to the channel. We're just shy of 19,000 subscribers now. Yeah, I took a look at it, just a few more and we hit 19,000. I appreciate it, thank you so much. We're definitely gonna break 20,000 this year, that's for sure. Anyway, check it out. If you're interested, remember there is an affiliate link there. You get $50 off, I get $50 credit. As long as they're still offering that promotion. If Rad cuts it, well, then I can't help you. But it's worth trying. Here's the thing. Don't go to the Rad site directly, okay? Go use the affiliate link to get there, because that's the only way it works. And then hopefully it works out for you. I'll talk to you guys next time.